And here we go, it is the bonus episode, the relay competition. So after completing the individual competitions, all the biathletes that have managed to survive all 10 rounds will now get a chance to represent their nations in the bonus episode that is, of course, the relay competitions. So we have 5 competitions as not per usual: men's relay, women's relay, mixed relay, single mixed relay, and of course the super relay. And first up is the men's relay, and without further ado, let's make our way over there. And here we go, it's the men's relay competition. So we've got 10 teams that are in this race, that's including Team World. On the screen we should see the 4 biathletes that will be representing Team World, as they don't have an actual team to be in this race. So we've got the Czech Republic, we've got Latvia, we've got Russia, we've got Finland, we've got Austria, Norway, France, Slovenia, Germany, and of course Team World. With the Czech Republic, Latvia and Russia on the front row, who's going to win this race? Without further ado, let's find out as we get the first relay race underway now. And it looks like it's going to be a good start there for Russia, who's going to probably take an early lead going into the first quarter. As of course we're in Östersund, because that was the first round of the 2002 Biathlon season that we went to, which saw us the victory of we're showing us the victory of Rafael Pori, Magdalena Forsberg, and Germany winning all 3 nations competitions. Meanwhile, we've got Norway that's taken the lead of this race going into, I believe, the 0.8 kilometre mark. Here they are. So Norway's out in front with Frode Andersen. Adrianov is second for World. Shepakov third. Dolnik fourth for Slovenia. And round the top 5 is Upenix for Latvia. We've got Michael Grieth representing Germany in the first leg at the back of the field behind Gilles Market of France. 2.7 seconds separating them. Meanwhile, Norway are pulling off quite a substantial lead already over the rest of the teams. Alexei Adrianov still safe for Team World. Dolnik third for Slovenia ahead of Austria. There's Russia with Sergei Chepkov at around the top 5. Kolikumpu of Finland at the back of the field, 4.5 seconds separating them from Norway. But here we go, wrong button. We're coming into the shooting range for the first time in this race. Let's see what happens here. Can Frode get Norway off to a good start with this first shoot? Of course, every leg it's 2 shoots. Each one's got 3 spares, so if they miss more than 5 times, forget what I'm saying. Anyway, we got Norway needing to use the spares. Okay, we've got lots of spares needed here. And already a bit of a problem there for Norway with Frode Andersen. He's got 1 spare left to go. Meanwhile, Team World with Alexei Adrianov of Belarus going clear, and he takes the lead of this race. We got Latvia going clear, Germany, France, and Russia going clear. Penalty loops for the Czech Republic, Norway, Austria, and Finland. So a disaster for that's a disaster for those 3 teams. They need to go into the penalty, at least 1 penalty loop. That's going to cost them a lot of time. But of course, this being a relay, everyone does 3 laps. So we've essentially got 12 laps of this race. So it's going to be a very, very long road ahead for a lot of these teams. But Team World well out in front by 6.9 seconds over Germany. France is third. 4th is Latvia, followed by Slovenia in 5th. And Norway down to 6th position, 14.4 seconds down on Alexei Adrianov representing Team World. This is an amazing start for the team that's essentially the filler for the 4 biathletes that don't have a team. Like Belarus aren't in this relay, so Alexei Adrianov had to be chosen, one of the top 4 spots to get into Team World, to get into this relay competition. But here comes Team World with Alexei Adrianov back into the shooting range. Can he go clear again? And can he get Team World off to an amazing start before passing over to whoever's second in line? So Adrianov's in, Michael Grieth is in, Gilles Market is in. Then it's Frode Andersen, Upenix, and Dolnik. A mess there for Team World, so that's at least 1 spare needed. And a miss there for Team France as well. And World goes clear. Michael Grieth goes clear without using any spares, so that's good for Germany to catch up. And a disaster for Latvia. They're already guaranteed at least 1 penalty loop. Looking further in the field, we've got Russia's gone clear with 1 spare needed. France managed to go clear with using the last spare. Norway are in the penalty loop, so is Latvia. Dolnik managed to go clear for Slovenia, but he had to use all 3 spares to pull it off. The Czech Republic and Austria have gone clear. That leaves Kolikumpu of Finland last, and he goes clear for Finland without needing to use any spares, but Finland are still well in last position. Right now we've got a battle for the lead between World and Germany. Who would have thought Team World would get off to such an amazing start like this? Michael Grease is 6/10 of a second behind the Belarusian representing Team World. Now, what is going to happen at going to the second leg? Will this tussle continue, or what will happen? Who knows? But we've got Russia further down in third. He's about 16.5 seconds down with Sergei Chepkov. There's Gil Margaret fourth. But here we go, going to the exchange. As we wait for the exchange to get underway. And the exchange is complete for both World and Germany. And yeah, it's World leading. And Germany is second. Like I said, Germany got the inside line, goes into the lead of this of the race now. And so coming over to the next checkpoint, we'll see who is representing who for Germany and for World. As we're about to come to there it is, the marker, the 8.3 kilometer mark. So what we've got here, we've got Frank Luck representing Germany, we've got Renny Carusi of Italy representing Team World. So Luck, Carusi and Luck continuing the tussle for the lead of this race. And there's a well and truly out in front of the opposition. Russia in third. Okay, we're not going to see who it is that's representing them. I think, if memory serves me right, it's Viktor Megorov that's representing Russia in the second leg of the race. But nothing, there's next to nothing separating World and Germany here. But it looks like Frank Luck is going to starting to pull a gap over Renny Carusi as they're coming into the third round of the shooting range. Yeah, and there's Viktor Megorov that's representing Russia. 16.8 seconds down on the 2 biathletes out in front as the battle for the lead intensifies. Okay, they're both gaining position. Let's see what happens here for the 2 of them. Okay, Frank and Carusi get the shooting underway. And Frank Luck misses the last target. Can Carusi go clear without using spares? Yes, he does. Frank Luck uses 1 spare, goes clear. Megorov goes in for Russia. Julian Robert for France. Igor Schellen for Norway. Thomas Globerdek for Slovenia. Wolfgang Partner for Austria. And there comes the shooting range. And Viktor Megorov, after a rough first round of the shooting range, missing 2 targets, needs to use at least 2 spares to avoid the penalty loop. So, and we got Russia going clear with 2 spares needed. English going clear for Norway with 1 spare needed. Julian goes clear with 2 spares needed. Wolfgang Power with 1 spare needed goes clear. And yes, Carusi leading by 1 second over Frank Luck now. And looking at still in the shooting range. And Stania Vitek in trouble for the Czech Republic as Strekanakus goes clear for Latvia with 1 spare needed. Fielreich goes clear with 1 spare needed. And Vitek had to use all 3 spares, but goes clear regardless. Frank Luck and Carusi still in that massive tussle for first place. Neither of them are giving each other any breathing room to try and get into the lead of this race. But here we go, going into the shooting range now. The 4th shooting range of the race. Let's see what Frank Luck and what Carusi does here. Carusi was stronger in the shooting range, but Frank Luck's got the ski pace, it looks like. Let's see who is going to capitalize who here. Look, Carusi in position now, ready to get underway. And a miss there for Frank Luck. That could be what Carusi needs to try and retake the lead of this race. Carusi, yes, he goes clear without using any spares, but Frank Luck goes clear with using 1 spare. There comes Viktor Megorov, comes into the shooting range now, as we imagine, yep, it's Igor Schell going in for Norway. Norway sitting in 4th for the moment in this race. France is in, Austria is in, then Slovenia is in. That just leaves 3 teams yet to go into the shooting range. 1 second separated coming out of the shooting range, but Frank Luck is all over Ray Karunsi as they're doing their final lap of this leg. Shelley Magrov going clear with one spare needed. Peril got part of his 3 tires, so he's got to use all 3 spares and not afford to miss any. France going clear with 1 spare needed. And Globalik in trouble for Sevilla, so is Wolfgang Partner for Austria. But Finland going clear without using any spares. And Latvia in trouble. They've missed 4 tires, so they've got at least 1 penalty loop already. And Vitek has got 1 penalty loop to serve for the Czech Republic. At least 1. Yeah, 1 penalty loop for Vitek, 2 for Latvia with Jekka Nakums. But we're going into the second exchange for the 3rd leg of this first relay competition. Frank Luck is going to ensure Germany is going to start this 3rd leg as the leading team, with Team World right behind him. Germany gets underway, so is Team World. Now we'll see who is representing who going at the next checkpoint. I think it's the 1994 champion Sven Fischer and Andrei Serlima of Ukraine representing the 2 teams going into the 3rd leg. And they have actually, I think they've got to lap somebody. I think there must be Latvia behind it. Yeah, they are, who must be a full lap down, with Jekanakus having to serve 2 penalty loops for the team in the last shooting range they've done. Yeah, Sven Fischer and Andrei Zarlima, 2.1 seconds separating. Sven Fischer with a good ski pace. Zarlima has got his work out to try and keep up with the 994 champion. But Zarlima, we know he's going to give his best shot, not just for Ukraine, not to Team World, but for himself as well. This is going to be a very, very difficult challenge that Zarlima is facing up to. With Jekanakus in the background in last position, need to go into the exchange. Latvia will unlap themselves because, well, the top 2 teams will be in the shooting range by the time he goes past them. But here we go. Round number 5 of the shooting range, that's the Czech Republic. It looks like it's just going into the exchange. And here we go, into the shooting range we go. Sven Fischer is first in. There is Andrei Sarlima coming in now. There comes Latvia to lap themselves to start leg number 3. And there we go. But Sven Fischer, amazing around the shooting range, goes clear without missing any targets. Can Sarlima match up to it? No, he's missed the last target. That means that's going to help Sven Fischer open the gap between him and Sarlima. But here comes Roskov representing Russia and Halvard Hannibal representing Norway in this 3rd leg of the race. Sven Fischer well chilling in front, 11.5 seconds. This is what Germany needs to open a good gap between him and the rest of the opposition. Roskov has missed 3 targets and risks going in the penalty loop. This could be Norway's chance to get into 3rd place. Yeah, well, Sven Fischer well truly out front. And Roskov's missed a target. He's got to go to the penalty loop. Halvard Hannibal goes clear with 1 spare to go, but France goes clear to France without using any spares. What a race this is proving to be. Germany well and truly out front of Team World. I think Norway must be up to 3rd now. Slovenia are going clear without using any spares. Finland going clear with using 1 spare. Austria going clear with 1 spare. And 12.9 seconds separate Fischer and Sarlima as he's coming into the shooting range. But can he go clear without missing targets? That's Rowan Dos. I think that's Dostal just leaving. No, not Dostal. Pavel Pirinen, I should say, sorry. Dostal going clear with 1 spare needed. Pirinen going clear with using all 3 spares. That's Malhus behind in the shooting range, a lap down again. But Sven Fischer missed a target. He's missed 2 targets. Sarlima is in the shooting range now. That opens the door for Sarlima to close in. But can he capitalise on it? Oh, he's missed a target. Sven Fischer using 2 spares goes clear. Malhus has missed 4 targets, so he's got a penalty to serve for Latvia. Latvia in last position. It's now has been relapped by Germany and notably Team World. So Sven Fischer well in front of Team World. France and Norway are in the shooting range. They're 3rd and 4th now, ahead of Russia, who've lost a couple of positions because of the last round of the shooting range that did not go their way. Sven Fischer, 13 minutes 44.4. France have missed one target. Norway's missed two. But the France goes clear with one spare required. What about Norway? Oh, he's on his last spare with one target to go. Roskov's missed one target. Havel goes clear with using all three spares, and Roskov using one spare, and Sofia using one spare goes clear. What is the... Oh, we need to find out what the gap is between Germany and Team World. There's quite a gap that's formed. That's for sure. 13.4 seconds, and Sven Fischer coming into the final exchange of this race, and this will be with Rico Gross, the man who lost the individual title to Rafael Pori. As Rico Gross gets underway, Team World is going to come in. They will have Vadim Sashrin of Belarus, the highest placed biathlete to not have a team in this relay competition. But Rico Gross cannot rest on his laurels. He's got to just go for it and ensure that he is going to take the win for Germany in this first relay competition in this bonus episode. As we come to the 23.3 kilometre mark, what is the time? 15 minutes 3.6. A great time that is. And I think behind him, that is the Czech Republic that's now one lap down. Malahun's had a disastrous shooting range there. He's missed 4 targets with 3 spares, so he's already guaranteed 1 penalty loop. Man, Latvia have really struggled in this relay competition. I think it's the first relay competition they've gone to in the men's where they're representing the entire team rather than just representing Team World. But here goes Rico Gross to come into the shooting range for his first of 2 rounds of the shooting range with a big gap between him and Team World. Can he make sure this goes smoothly? There's a couple of teams that's nearly a lap down. I think that might be Austria and Slovenia who are further down the field. Okay, Rico Gross is in. That's the Czech Republic unlapping themselves there. Rico Gross getting the shooting underway. A very tense moment for the German. He's got a big gap. He's just got to make sure he gets them down. He does get them down. And here's him getting underway. And that's Vadim Sashrin going in for Belarus for Team World. So can Sashrin go clear and ensure he's going to get second place for the team? Well, he's missed the target. He's got a big. I think he's got a big gap between down to third place, which I imagine is still Norway and France sitting in third. Rafael Pori's in for France, so France is third. Fourth must be Norway then, with I'm guessing Ola Bjorn Dalen that's representing them in this final. Yes, it is Ola Bjorn Dalen. Vadim Sashrin goes clear, but he's had to use 2 spares. Rafael Pori going clear for France, so in fact France may be closing in on Team World, which would be great for France. It would be bad news for Team World because as they've been holding in the top 2 spots for so long this race. Rostov Vesel going clear for Russia. He's going to get past Norway for 4th. And Bjorn Dalen really struggling this individual season. And I think he might be struggling in this relay competition as well, as he's been passed by Rostov Vesel. And we go into the shooting range for the final time of this race. Oswald going clear for Sevilla with 1 spare needed. That is Petr Garabek in the shooting range, about to be lapped by Rico Gross, I think. We got Finland is there, so is Austria. They both need to use 2 spares to not face a penalty loop. Final shooting range for Germany. And Germany go clear without needing to use any spares. Petr Garabek had to use 1 spare for the Czech Republic. And Czech Republic are once again a lap down. This is going to... What a dominant race for Germany here. They're going to take the win. Managed to go clear the far out of the shooting range before Team World got a chance to go in. Vadim Sashrin is in the shooting range now. But the question will be for him. Can he guarantee he's going to finish second? Or will France be able to come sniffing right towards the end of this race? But Sashrin goes clear for Team World. It gives an advantage to try and stay ahead of Rafael Pori. Rafael Pori's missed a target. We've got Latvia in the shooting range, but they are a lap down with Ilmar Braces. So Brace goes all work cut out. Just needs to try and get to the end of the race for Latvia. But Rafael Pori goes clear with 2 spares needed, but I don't think they're going to catch Team World. But what a race for Team Germany this has been. the first relay competition, going to Germany with a time of 18 minutes 49.5. Now it's going to wait for everyone else to make way across the finish line. Here comes Team World to take second place. A very, very valiant effort, but with such a strong team that Germany possessed, it was always going to be difficult for Team World. But Team World does take second, 32.4 seconds down on the winning team. And coming up to round the podium, it is Raphael Pouet for France. France has struggled at the start of the race, but managed to claw back a lot of progress after a really difficult start. So France ran for the podium spots. Now we need to wait for everyone else to wait across the finish line. And here we go. All 10 teams have finished the race. So Germany managed to take the win without a single penalty loop, ahead of Team World, who managed to clear the race without a single penalty loop. France have also not faced a single penalty loop for the entire race to finish third. Norway had 2 penalty loops in the first leg of the race to finish fourth. Slovenia, no penalty loops, but finishing in 5th position, just behind the Norwegian team, in a 3-way tussle for 4th place between Norway, Slovenia and Russia, who had 2 penalty loops in the entire race to finish 6th. Austria, 1 penalty loop to be 7th. Finland, 2 penalty loops, 8th. Czech Republic had 2 penalty loops to be 9th. And Latvia with 5 penalty loops, rounding off your top 10. So that's the men's relays competition out of the way. It's now time to move over to the women's relay competition. And here we go. It's the women's relay competition. As you can see, we've got 7 teams, including Team World, in this race. Representing Team World will be on the screen, but it's Magdalena Forsberg, Ekaterina Dvoska, Katerina Holubkova, and Pavlova Filipova. So, who's going to win this race? Who's going to win the women's relay competition here? Without further ado, let's get in this race and find out. We've got Germany, Finland and Ukraine on the front row. Let's get the race underway now. And I think Ukraine should take an early lead going into the first corner as they've got the inside line. Yep, Ukraine does so as they're going to the 0.8 kilometer mark. So it's Ukraine leading the way. Finland right next to him. Germany, who won the men's relay, going into the inside line and should take the lead of this race going into the 8 kilometer mark. It's going to be interesting to see how this race plays out with only 7 teams in the women's relay competition here. So Martina Beck leads for Germany, Salin second for Finland, third Sandrine Bailey for France. At the back is Kukleva, 1.8 seconds separating the 7 teams in this 0.8 kilometer mark. With Norway 6th, Team World is down in 5th place. We go to the 1.9 kilometer mark. Martina Beck leading the way from Ijo Salonen of Finland. Then it's Pavlina Filipova, Sandrine Bailey, Anna Shelbred, Kukleva, and Alea Petrova at the back for Petrova at the back for Ukraine. 3.4 seconds separating the 7 teams. As with the advantage going to Germany, they're heading to the shooting range for the first time this race. Let's see what happens here. Will it be all close, bunched together, or will it be all spaced out? Okay, of course, Germany first position, there's Team World in Finland, then Russia, France, Norway, Ukraine last in position. Okay, the shoots are underway. Missed there from Russia already with Kukleva. Has missed 2. Missed there from World, missed from Finland, but going clear with no spares required are Germany and France. So Bailey and Beck pull away. Kukleva in trouble for Russia. And going clear is Ukraine and World. They both need 1 spare each. And we got Russia going into it's got 1 penalty loop. What about Norway? Okay, so it's just Russia that's got a penalty loop. Though Anna Shelbred of Norway had to use all 3 spares. So not a good start for Norway, not a good start for Russia. Going to the 3.3 kilometer mark. Martina Beck leading the way over Sandrine Bailey. 1.5 seconds separating them as the field is spread out quite a bit already. Then it's Team World sitting in 3rd, 8.1 seconds down. Followed by Ukraine, they're in 4th. And they'll be ahead of Finland with Norway in 6th and Russia is going to be at the back of the field. With 1 penalty loop already under their belt. 1.6 seconds separating the top 2 teams as they're heading to the shooting range for the second time. Sandrine Bailey trying to catch up with Martina Beck. Filipova dropping a little bit off the pace over the 2 biathletes in front. but still relatively quite a good distance ahead of Ukraine. They're sitting in 4th, who are under a bit of pressure from Finland in a tussle for 4th place. And here we go to the shooting range. Goes Martina Begler, Sandra Bailey in, and that will be Filipova of Team World coming in as well. Shooting underway from the top 2 teams. Oh, but a miss there from Germany. Oh, 2 misses from Germany. 2 misses from France. In fact, 3 misses from Germany. That opens the door for World, Ukraine, Finland, Norway and Russia to catch up with them. And Germany and France in a pickle here. Oh, but Ukraine going clear with no spares required. Filipova going clear with 1 spare remaining. France and Germany need all 3 spares, but Ukraine didn't need a single spare. And look at that, Ukraine are in 2nd. Further down the field, we got Norway gone clear with 1 spare left. Finland going clear for Finland. We're using all 3 spares. And another penalty loop for Russia. Russia having a disastrous first leg of this women's relay competition. Really, really disastrous start there. Germany leads by 1 second. There's Ukraine in 3rd. 4th is Team World. 4.5 seconds separating the top 4 teams. Russia well truly behind after a really bad first leg. Norway and France, no, not France. Norway and Finland quite a distance away from the top 4 teams as well. As the top 4 teams are making their way towards the exchange. The question is, what have they got for the second leg of this race? Well, I can tell you from Team World, they're going to have Katarina Holkova of the Czech Republic representing Team World going into the second leg of this race. Meanwhile, Germany and France continue to tussle for the lead of this race with Martina Begg and Sandrine Bailey. But here comes the exchange. We've got Ukraine and Team World have dropped a bit further back in the field, but they are still technically within touching distance of the 2 in front. And France goes into the lead, probably thanks to being in the inside line, before going into the. I think it was 3.3 kilometer mark. Your ads here is according to the game developers, so that'd be worth something. We're going to the 8.3 kilometer mark. Who is leading the way? It's Henkel that's representing Germany. We've got Delphine Bart representing France the second leg. Then we've got Hopkova 3rd. Filipova representing Ukraine in 4th place. Going to the 9.4 kilometer mark. We've got Henkel trying to pull away from Delphine Barlett, but Barlett is not going to let her get away that easily. 1.2 seconds separating the 2 of them. It's 6.3 seconds representing the difference between the top 4 teams. Meanwhile, the other 3 teams still quite a bit further down the field, trying to catch up to them and try and make up for their their not so great first legs of the race. There you go, Henkel is in, Barlett is in, Hopkova should be coming in, and so is Volopanova. Let's see what happens here with these 4 teams. Can they go clear? And I think that's Norway coming in to try and close in on them, and Henkel's missed the target. That opens the door for France have missed 1, so has Ukraine. In fact, France missed 2. But we've got Linda Grubben representing Norway, she's in. And look at that, Team World, no spares required, goes clear, and she's going to take the lead of this race. Kettinen coming into the shooting range for Finland, and we got Malgina coming in for Russia at the back of the field. Germany go clear with 1 spare left. Delphine Barlett had to use all 3. Linda Grubben has 1 spare need. Kettinen going clear without using a spare. Malgina going clear without using a spare. So some of the biathletes, some of the teams that are up front have been closed in by those behind because 2 of them didn't use any spares, i.e. Kettinen and Malgina. So it looks like the race may have just turned on its head a little bit. Hopko maybe leaning for Team World for the time being, but look at Andrea Henkel is only 3.4 seconds behind. She could end up closing on the Czech. So I think Henkel has been the faster biathlete than Hopkova was in the main series of the Biathlon Olympics. But let's see what happens here. 3.9 seconds is what's separating the 2 of them. as they're coming into the fourth round of the shooting range before doing the second exchange of this race. And here we go, coming into the shooting range now. There is Katerina Halbakova, followed by Andre Henkel. Now we go, Halbakova coming in, Henkel coming in, and this will be, I think, this will be. Is this France coming in? It's in third. Oh, this team. Oh, yeah, definitely about third. And miss there for Germany. What about Halbakova? She goes clear without using any spares, and she's going to maintain this impressive lead she's got here. 2 misses for Germany. What about France? France go clear without using any spares, and she's caught. And just like that, France have caught up to Germany once again. Filiponova's missed the target for Ukraine, so she needs to use at least 1 spare, but she does. She managed to do it with 1 spare. Further in the field, we got Norway, Finland, and Russia need to use at least 1 spare. Russia going clear with 1 spare left. Kettinen and Grubben doing the same for Norway and Finland. But they've got a workout trying to catch up to the other 4 teams that are ahead of them in this race. But a big gap formed between World and France. 13.6 seconds. What a gap for Team World to build up. This is amazing. But Halbakova can't rest on our laurels. We're going into the third leg, which means the second highest placed biathletes of each team. And for her, there'll be Ekaterinka Dafolska of Bulgaria representing Team World. Bartlett and Henkel 13.9, 40.7 seconds behind. They could probably end up catching up at the third leg. You never know in these really competitions in the Biathlon Olympics. Anything can turn on its head. And here we go. That's Ekaterinka Dafolska underway for Team World. 9 minutes 55.6 is her time. But France and Germany just arriving at the exchange. So this will be their chance to try and catch up to Team World. So we're making our way to we're halfway to this race, 15.8 kilometer mark. What is the time? Dafolska 10 minutes 18.8. This is a very Dafolska having a really good advantage over France and Germany going into her leg. The question is, can she maintain it, or will France and Germany find their footing to catch up to her? Oh, for a second we saw Sylvie Becker at 40.6 seconds down for France. So France are still ahead of Germany for the time being, though it's not. But it's really close between the two of them. Dafolska really needs to try and keep her nerve. This is good. This is a very nerve-wracking position to be in, with Sylvie Beckert and Catherine Appel trying to catch up to her as she comes round to start the 5th round of the shooting range. Her first of 2. Okay, Dafolska coming in now. We should see Beckert and Catherine Appel coming in. There they are, coming into the shooting range. Oh, Dafolska's missed the first target. I think the nerves are getting to her now. I don't blame her, because this is a massive responsibility on her end. She managed to go clear with using only 1 spare. Now Catherine Appel and Becker got under pressure to catch up to her, but Catherine Appel's missed 2 targets already. Becker didn't need a spare. She goes clear, so she's going to be second for France. But I think she'll have closed in on Team World a little bit. What about Ukraine? She's missed 1 target. Catherine Appel has got 1 spare left. And she's missed it, so she's got a penalty loop for Germany. That's not good. Disaster there for Germany. Meanwhile, Ukraine going clear with 2 spares needed. What about Russia? Okay, she's on the last spare with Ishvatova. Perunka going clear for Finland without using any spares. I'd say goes clear using 2 spares. Ishvatova had to use all 3 spares to go clear. Throws clog up is pure excitement. This is really intense stuff here. Got Mugger Anderson, who finished 3rd overall in the individual championship, representing Norway, and she's towards the back end of the field. She's got to work out to try and help Norway get back in this somehow. 11.1 seconds between World and France. So France have closed in quite a bit on Team World, But Team World still has a good advantage going into the 6th round of the shooting range. Team World really needs this. Really needs Dafalska to go clear and just have a flawless final lap before passing over to Magdalena Forsberg, the individual champion, representing Team World. Becker is in, but Dafalska goes clear. No spares needed. Dafalska goes clear for Team World. Now, can she open the gap between her and Team France? France needs to use 2 spares. That is exactly what Dafalska needed. And for Team World, a big gap between her and the rest of the opposition. Team France are kind of struggling with Becker a little bit. Becker, it's really struggling. She's on her last spare. She does go clear, but she's lost a lot of ground. Ukraine missed 1. Germany have missed 2. Looking further down the field, we got Ukraine got clear with 1 spare needed. Parunka going clear for Finland without using any spares. Ishmael and Anderson going clear without using spares either. So they have gone clear, but the gap is quite substantial between them and Team World. Team World well and truly out in front, really showing that even though they don't have an actual team, they've got some really strong competitors under their belt, and they're about to unleash their strongest competitor, the 2002 and 1998 individual women's champion of Magdalena Forsberg, to represent them going into the final leg of this race. Magdalena Forsberg at the ready to get underway and seal the victory for Team World and for herself. And there she goes. Magdalena Forsberg gets underway. 14 minutes 40.5 is her time. This is quite important for her, for Sweden, and for Team World, for the relay championship points, of course. For Team World, because for Team World they'll have to split between 4 ways, but well, technically be a half and 2 quarters, because there's 2 Bulgarians, 1 Swede and 1 Czech Republican in this lot. So they won't get the full 25. They won't get the full 25 points, but it'll be split between them for the nations championship standings to see. So it's not good. So it's not going to be as impactful as they probably are actually making it out to be, but it still would be handy for them in the overall standings at the end of the relay competition. But here we go. Magdalena Forsberg, number 7 in the shooting range for her. Can she go clear? Can she just? I think if she misses all 8 targets with both shooting ranges, I think she'll still win for Team World. But here we go. Forsberg is in, ready to get the shooting underway, ready to take the victory for her, for Sweden, and for Team World. But she misses the first target. She needs to use at least 1 spare. And she does so, and that is before anyone else going into the shooting range. I think that's France in second that's coming into the shooting range. Is it France that's coming in? Oh yes, it's Florence Bavril representing France, and the rest of the team are actually not too far behind Bavril actually, so they're all going to come piling in on each other as Forsberg skis into the sunset. When she does those in, Zarbelova's in, Holante, Lucas Shelbred, Mefiseva are all in. Mefiseva, the rookies champion, representing Russia in this final leg of the race. Florence Bavril going clear without using any spares to help her keep second place secure for herself and for her team. Meanwhile, Norway looking like they're going to make the way into third. A disaster for Ukraine. They've got at least 1 penalty loop they have to serve. Make that 2. She just had to use 2 spares. Holante on our last spare. In fact, 3 penalty loops for Ukraine. That's disaster. That 1 penalty loop for Finland. Russia going clear with 1 spare required. Wow, so Zarbalova has had a meltdown. Holante has struggled for in the shooting range as well. And here we go. We're coming into the final round of the shooting range in this relay competition. Let's see what Magdalena Forsberg can do here. Can she finish on a strong note and seal the victory for Team World? Attention, man. Oh, she missed the last target. And here comes Florence Biathlon of France to come in, but Forsberg's gone clear with one spare needed, and that's her away to go seal the victory for her, for Sweden, for Team World. 18 minutes 5.8 is her time. What can Florence Biathlon do here? Can she ensure she's going to finish in second place for France? And Livka Shelbred up into third for Norway, right behind her coming in the shooting range. Biathlon was target, needs to use at least one spare. And she managed to get that target down. So Florence Biathlon just needs to make sure she's going to get second. I think we got a battle for third going on between Norway, Germany, and Russia. Norway needs to use at least two. Each just needs to use at least two. Memphis needs to use all three spare rounds to avoid the penalty loop. Meanwhile, Magdalena Forsberg, a dominant race for Team World since the second leg of the race, is going to come around to take the win in the women's relay competition. The victory goes to Team World with a time of 18 minutes 57.9. Now to wait for everyone else to make the way across the finish line. And here comes France. A valiant effort from the team. But it's going to be a well-deserved second place for France, behind by exactly half a minute. And I think Norway are about to make their way across the finish line to seal the top podium spot. Well, seal the podium spot in third. And here comes Norway with Livka Shelbred, the runner-up in the individual competition. And that is third place going to Norway. Now to wait for everyone else to cross the finish line. And here is the results of that grueling race. What a dominant performance for Team World. No penalty loops. Neither did France. Neither did Norway. One penalty loop for Germany. Two for Russia. Three for Ukraine. And one for Finland, who finished in 7th. So with that result out of the way, it's time to move over to the mixed relay competition. And here we go, it's the mixed relay competition. And of course, both the double and the single mixed relays means we are heading over to the second round that we held the season, which was at Novo Mesto. And we've got 13 teams, including Team World, to be in the mixed relay. And here on screen is the biathletes that will be representing Team World. So with Russia on the front row, along with France and Team World, who is going to take victory here? Without further ado, let's get into this mixed relay and find out as we get the race underway. Now, and it looks like a pretty good starter for Team World. They'll probably take an early lead as the first corner is a left-hander. With France second and Russia will have to go into third, I think. Yep, Team World takes an early lead, but we've got a right-hander coming next. That's going to help Russia take an early lead. And they do so as they're heading to the first checkpoint already. The 0.8 kilometer mark, I believe it is. Oh, 0.9, sorry. Here we go, coming to the 0.9 kilometers. Russia leads the way. With Ishratova, Becker is second for France. Finland is third, with first to 13 separate by 3.1 seconds. Brigid, Weissleitner representing Austria, is at the back of the field. Filipova representing Bulgaria in this first leg of the race. And looking at the front, it is Bekarit and Ishmatova battling for the lead. But here comes, I believe, that's Ukraine with Nina Lemish fighting for the lead as well. As we're coming to the 1.5 kilometer mark of this first leg. Becker leads, Ishmatova second, Lemish is third, Filipova fourth, and Kaspar Pell round for top 5 for Germany. With Estakova at the back of the field, it's 4 seconds separating first and 13th position. As they're coming to the shooting range for the first time in this mixed relay race. Let's see what happens here. Can Ishmatova get hold to an early lead there for Russia? And here we go, coming into the shooting range now. First in their position is going to be Ishmatova, then it's Becker, then it's Katarina Pell, and then it's got Margaret Anderson, then it's Nina Lemish. As they're waiting for the shoot to get underway. And the shooting's underway there. We've got a couple of misses there already for World and Norway. France has missed the target. Ishmatova, can she go clear of the spares? Yes, she can. So can Katarina Pell. Nina Lemish going clear for Ukraine. So is Ellie with Natalie Santa. Sestakova going clear for the Czech Republic without using any spares. Becker needs one spare, Anderson needs one, Peruka needs one, Nazarov needs two, Weissleitner is still in the shooting range, she's got one bullet left, so is Larissi. Filipova going clear for Team World, but she needs all 3 spares. Weissleitner and Larissi managed to go clear for Slovenia and Austria, but they need all 3 spares to not get in the penalty loop. So, it's Ishmatova leading the way. Katarina Pell is second. Third is Nia Lemish of Ukraine. Then Italy with Natalie Santa. Gunnar Allison for Norway is fifth. Ahead of Sestakova. Becker down to seventh. Magdalena Gwisdin is eighth for Poland. With Perunka ninth for Finland. With Nazarova, Belarus running off the top 10. As they go to the 4 kilometre mark, we see Katarina Pell has taken the lead over Ishmatova. Now, what can Ishmatova do here? The runner-up in the Women's Rookie Championship with Katarina Pell, who made the top 10 for Germany at the end of the last round. Nia Lemish in third position for Ukraine, still ahead of Natalie Santa, with Gunmarga Andersson, who is third in the women's individual competition, behind Magdalena Forsberg, who took the title, and Andersson's teammate Livka Shelbred, who's in the second leg of this race. Here we go for the stag shoot for Pell and Ishmatova. Who is going to go clear here? Who's going to take the lead here? Here comes Nia Lemish of Ukraine. We've got a bunch of other teams coming into the shooting range now. And a miss there for Germany, but 2 misses for Katarina Pell, 3 misses for Katarina Pell. Disaster for Katarina Pell. She's missed 4 targets. She's in the penalty loop. Ishmatova's going to go clear, as Russia's going to take the lead here. And Nia Lemish, without needing any spares, goes clear as well. So Ukraine go into second. That's a disaster for Germany and Katarina Pell. Further field, Beckred has gone clear. She needs 1 spare. Peruka went clear without using any spares at all. 2 penalty loops for Germany. Sestakova going clear, needing to use 2 spares. Magdalena Gwisdin going clear using 2 spares as well. Team Wald didn't use any spares. With Filipova, but she's gone clear. Ishmatova leading the way. Larissa and Chol going to the penalty loop for Slovenia. In fact, Slovenia is going into the penalty loop. So that's 2 teams in the penalty loop now. Weisslein is in trouble for Austria. She could get in the penalty loop as well. Oh, but she's got 1 bullet left and 1 target to go. Yeah, Larissa's in the penalty loop for Slovenia. What about Weisslein? Used all 3 spares, but she's gone clear. The field is starting to spread out. So Germany were in the penalty loop and Slovenia were in the penalty loop. So that's going to cost the 2 teams valuable places and time. But it's Russia leading the way. Ukraine is in second position with Nia Lemish. Who's in third is Finland with Perunka. With Becker at 4th and Natalie Santa at the top 5 for Italy. And then it's Gunnar Andersson 6th for Norway. And here we go, coming to the exchange for Russia. There's going to be the rookie champion in the women's. That is Olga Mefeseva. And Mefeseva gets underway. Nia Lemish going to be passing over to Olena Zerbalova, who was the highest placed Ukrainian in the women's competition. So Zerbalov's got all to do to try and catch up to Mefeseva, the rookie champion. This is going to be a really tough ask for her, but we'll see how it goes for her. There we go, come to the 8.4 kilometre mark. What is Mefeseva's time? It is 5 minutes 18.2. There is Olena Zerbalova in the background. And looking at the map, it looks like Mefeseva could potentially end up lapping. It's either going to be Austria or Slovenia, because they're the ones towards the back of the field. So they've kind of struggled in this first leg with Larissa and Weissleitner. Finland is third. France is fourth with Lucas Shelbred. It's the fifth for Norway, getting past Italy. Getting past will be Michela Ponza, the Italian rookie, was the highest placed Italian in the women's competition. Mefeseva leading the way. 5 minutes 45.3 is her time. Zerbalova is 7.2 seconds back. So Zarbalova's got her work cut to try and catch up to the leader. Finland doing pretty well, hanging on to third, but she's going to be under a lot of pressure from France, Italy, and Norway, because they've got a pretty strong biathletes in this leg of the race. Mefeseva's end. Here comes Olena Zerbalova, and that'll be Katja Lanti coming in as well, and there comes quite a few of the other teams as well. What can Mefeseva do here? Mefeseva's missed a target. That's going to slow her down a little bit. Can Zerbalova catch up? 1 spare was needed for Mefeseva, but she does go clear. Zerbalova didn't need to use any spares, and she's gone clear. Now she's right behind Mefeseva, so the battle for the lead between Ukraine and Russia is hotting up already. Finland going clear without using any spares. Norway clear without using any spares. Florence Barfield missed 1 for France. She needs to use at least 1, and she does use it with 1 spare. The further down the field, we got probes there for Team World, Italy, and Belarus. Czech Republic going clear without using any spares. Ushi Dessel going clear for Germany without using any spares. So is Sterkutz for Poland without using any spares. Germany really got their work out to try and catch up. It's a penalty loop for Team World further down the field. I think who had to use all 3 spares. Poland had to use all 3 spares to go clear, but they've done so. So Team World is going to be falling down the order and losing quite a bit of time. So we got Austria coming to the shooting range and Slovenia coming to the shooting range. As they're getting closer to being lapped by Russia and Ukraine. 0.8 of a second is what's separating the 2 teams right now as they're coming in to do their standing shoot. Meanwhile, Austria in serious trouble, could go into the penalty loop. 2 spares left, 2 targets to get down for Anna Sprung, and Anna Sprung is going into the penalty loop. Slovenia going clear out using a spare, so they're going to gain a possession at least, but it's 1 penalty loop for Austria, not good for them. But here's Medvedeva, here's Zabarlova, the battle for the lead between Russia and Ukraine. Before we head over to the second exchange of this race. I found in the field now, looks like it's going to be Finland and Norway. They're battling for 3rd place right now. Yes, it is. We'll look at Shepard and Catalante. And both Zabarlova and Ushmatova going clear without needing any spares. So the battle for the lead continues between them. Meanwhile, Norway and Finland have missed targets already. France are in the shooting range, Czech Republic in the shooting range, Germany are making a bit of ground in the shooting range now. Now, what can Finland and Norway do? France going clear without using a spare, so that's going to help them get into 3rd. Meanwhile, Finland and Norway had to use 2 spares each to go clear, but they've done so, but they'll be behind France now. Hong Kong going clear for the Czech Republic with 1 spare needed. What about she does so for Germany? Germany really struggling in this race. Italy and Germany going clear with using 1 and 2 spares respectively. Third in the field we've got Poland, Belarus and Team World in the shooting range. And they all went clear, so that leaves Austria and Slovenia in to do their standing shoot in the second leg of the race, and they're probably going to end up being lapped by the top 2 teams before they get out of the shooting range, whether they go clear or go in the penalty loop. So Kobla is in for Slovenia, Asbrun coming in for Austria, and they're really struggling in the first half of the race. But here's Zabarlova about to go to the exchange as she's ahead of Medvedeva. So the question is, who is Zabarlova swapping out for, and who is Medvedeva swapping out for? So Ukraine are leading the way just about with Russia. Meanwhile, Slovenia went clear. They need to use 1 spare. All about Austria with Anna Sprung. She's gone clear with using 2 spares, and that's Slovenia and Austria officially 1 lap down. They need to go to the second exchange, and look at the battle for the lead going on. Who is representing Ukraine and Russia? It's Sergei Rozkov for Russia and Ruslan Lysenko of Ukraine. 0.2 of a second, and Rozkov sneaks his way back into the lead for Russia. This is quite a battle for the lead between the 2 teams. In 3rd position, I imagine it's still France. I wonder who's that's representing France. Is it Julien Robert? I think it is. I'm not sure who's representing France in the 3rd leg, but we do know it is going to be in the final leg. It'll be represented by the men's individual champion. That is Raphael Pori to represent France in the final leg. But he's going to have his work out to try and help get France back into the action, or at least get some decent points for this relay competition. And here comes Rozkov and Lysenko into the shooting range. Slovenia will unlap themselves as they're going to go straight forward for the exchange. Austria, meanwhile, they need to catch up. There we go. Rozkov and Lysenko gain possession. That is Slovenia at the exchange now, and they've unlapped themselves for the time being. Rozkov, Lysenko gets the sharing rate. Mess there for Lysenko. Can Rozkov go clear and increase his lead over Russia? Yes, he can. Russia well out in front. Ukraine. At least one spare is needed. And 1 spare is all it needs. De France goes in for France, and Halvard Hannibal going in for Norway. The battle for 3rd place between France, Norway, and Finland is well and truly on. Sergei Rozkov well out in front for Russia. Ukraine, well, Chile to 2nd. Norway, meanwhile, went clear without using any spares, so they're going to 3rd. Meanwhile, France have missed 2 targets. They need to use at least 2 spares. What about Pavel Purinen for Finland? Well, he's struggling here, but France does go clear with 2 spares needed, and they are going to end up in 4th place. And that has cost Finland quite a bit of time. Further down the field, we've got Dostal, the 994 wrestling the Czech Republic, and the 994 champion, Sam Fischer wrestling Germany. Meanwhile, Wilfried Paul Huber going clear for Italy. So that's going to help him get ahead of Germany, maybe ahead of the Czech Republic as well. But Sam Fischer does go clear, but he had to use all 3 spares. Malahus of Latvia wrestling Team World in this third leg. Managed to go clear with 1 spare needed, and trouble for Poland and Belarus further down the field. Adarov and Kozov in danger going the penalty for their teams, but Belarus going clear with all 3 spares required. What about Kozov of Poland? Managed to go clear using all his third and final spare. That's Mark in the shooting range for Slovenia. He's probably going to be a lap down, relapped by Russia. And that is Daniel Mesitic of Austria. He is a lap down behind Rostkov and Lysenko coming in as well, who is the guy who's truly in second place. Rostkov missed his last target. That's going to cost a bit of time. Can Russell Lysenko jump in? Oh, Russell Lysenko's missed the target. Mesitic struggling for Austria towards the back of the field, but Rostkov went clear with using only 1 spare. 2 misses there from Russell Lysenko, as he's now going to be under bear pressure from Halvard Hanvold of Norway. He's going to try and catch up to him for second place. Lysenko does go clear. He had to use 2 spares. But Sergei Rostkov, how he can play his style shoot. Got 1 final leg to go in this race, and that's passing over to the rookie champion in the men's competition. That is, of course, Pavel Rostovestov. Hannover went clear. He had to use 1 spare. De France is struggling for France. Pavel Pirin, a bit of baller for Finland. But De France went clear with 2 spares required. Wolfhard Pollenberg of Italy, he goes clear without using any spares. That's going to help him get ahead of the Czech Republic and catch up to Finland. The 994 champion Sven Fischer in the shooting range, he had to use 2 spares, but he does go clear. We've got Team World and Belarus in the shooting range. Sergei Rostkov trying to get relap Slovenia before handing it over to Rostovestov. 14 minutes 66 the time, and Belarus are in trouble. They've got at least 1 penalty loop on their hands. Adarov has missed 4 targets. So there's going to be 1 penalty loop or 2 penalties for Adarov. It's 1 penalty loop for Adarov. Poland have got 3 spares to get 1 target down. They could probably get ahead of Belarus. They probably have. And that is Pavel Rostovestov getting underway for Russia in this 4th and final leg of the race. And I think they may have actually lapped Poland as well. Slovenia in trouble. So Marek in trouble for further down the field. But he's still ahead of Austria for the time being. And so it's Russia leading the way with Rostovestov. I believe Ukraine's in 2nd, and Norway is probably going to be the ones in 3rd place. Slovenia went clear in the 6th shoot with all 3 spares needed. Meanwhile, Austria going clear without using any spares at all. But the battle is well and truly on for 12th place. And Ukraine are still in 2nd at the moment. Just saw a quick flash on the screen there. Rostovestov still leading the way, but he can't rest on his laurels yet. He has to ensure he gets across the finishing line and take the win for Russia before we go over to the single mixed relay competition. As we're going to the 7th round of the shooting range for Rostovestov. We've got some of the lap athletes behind him. They'll probably end up unlapping themselves. But it's Russia leading. 2nd is Ukraine. 3rd is Norway. Pressure's on Rostovestov here. Into the shooting she goes for shooting number 7. And that is Poland and Belarus about to unlap themselves. Oh, bit of a moment there for the 2 teams, but they have managed to get a completely exchange. Russia have missed 1 target. Zarlima coming in for Ukraine. Ola Bjordal coming in for Norway. Zarlima. Guys, work cut out. Rostovestov had to use 2 spares, but he's got clear, so he's got secured the lead still. But can Ukraine close in? Yes, he didn't use any spares. Zarlima going clear without using any spares. Rafael Pori, the men's champion, representing France in this final leg of the race, trying to chase down Ola Bjordal for a podium spot for France. Bjordalen really struggling here in the 7th round of shooting. He has to use all 3 spares, but he has gone clear though. Rostovest 17 minutes 8.8 seconds. Rafael Poyas missed 2 targets. This is not what he needed. Vitalati missing 3 targets for Finland, but Rico Gross went clear without using his spears. I think Rico Gross may have just got himself into 4th. Ray Carusi didn't need his spears, so he may be in 5th for Italy. So I think Germany and Italy may have just jumped France and Finland for 4th. Meanwhile, we've got the Czech Republic in the shooting range. So is Team World. Rostovest well in front for the but the gap between him and Ukraine will have reduced a little bit. He used 2 spears compared to Ukraine's none. Valery Sasharin and Sakura coming in for Belarus and Poland in this final leg of the race. As they're probably going to be lapped by Rostovestov. Rostovestov with a 12.8 second advantage over Ukraine. And here he comes, 8th and far out of the shooting range for him. Can he go clear using his spears? And sure, it'll be Russia that's going to take the victory in this mixed relay competition. Ozbol lap down is in as well. Here comes Zarlima of Ukraine. Rostovestov's missed 1 target, he's used at least 1 spare. What about Zarlima? He's going to need to get the shoot underway still, but Rostovestov does go clear. And Rostovestov very much ensuring that it's Russia that's going to take the victory. Can Zarlima go clear? Oh, he's missed 1 target. Bjorn Dahlen is right behind him. Zarlima under a bit of pressure. The battle for second is suddenly brewing between Ukraine and Norway. Oh, but Ukraine does go clear with 2 spares needed. Bjorn Dahlen not able to go clear yet for Norway. And now he's got Germany and France right behind with the 2 rivals, Rafael Poré and Rico Gross. Ray Carusi, a great job for Italy in this mixed relay, right behind them. But Rafael Poré's missed 3 targets. The pressure has really got to Rico Gross, it looks like. No, Rafael Poré it looks like. And Gross goes ahead of Poré. Poré in all sorts of problems. Oh, it's going to be at least 1 penalty loop for France as well. Disaster final leg for France. 1 penalty loop that goes to them. Germany and Italy go clear, so they're going to get ahead of them. But at the end of the day, it is going to be Russia that wins the mixed relay competition. And here he is, with Rostovestov coming across the line. We're going to Russia. 19 minutes 34.6 is the time. As we're going to wait for who's going in second position, which I'm pretty sure is going to be going to Andrei Zarlima and Ukraine. What a race Ukraine have had here. Battling with Norway for the first half of the race, but when the men came on board, well, Ukraine just had no answers to Roskov or Rostovestov. But what a race for Ukraine is to take second. And here he is, coming to take the final podium spot is Norway. Now it's going to wait for everyone else to make way across the finish line. And here is the final result. Russia winning by over 20 seconds over Ukraine. Both teams had no penalty loops. No penalty loops for Norway, they finished in 3rd. Germany got off to a really poor start. 2 penalty loops in the first leg, and they just were not able to recover after that. Italy didn't get any penalty loops, they finished in 5th. France had a disastrous race for France. They had to sell for 6th with 1 penalty loop to show for it. Finland takes 7th. In 8th place is Team World with 1 penalty loop for the entire race. No penalty loops went to Czech Republic. They finished in 9th. And Belarus round off the points positions in 10th with 1 penalty loop. Poland, Slovenia and Austria finished the race, but all 3 teams failing to score. So with that result out of the way, it's now time to move over to the single mixed relay competition. And here we go, the single mixed relay competition. So we got 10 teams here, along with Team World. Of course, as usual on the screen, Team World will be represented by Yana Prats of Estonia and Shimi Yu of China. So we got Germany, Ukraine, Belarus, France, Norway, Sweden, Russia, Finland and Slovakia. With World, Germany and Ukraine on the front row, who's going to win this single mixed relay competition? Without further ado, let's find out as we get the race underway. Now, and it looks like it'll be a pretty good start there for Ukraine. They should probably take an early lead going into the first corner, but it was a pretty decent start there for Germany, actually. If I remember rightly, it's got Catherine Appel no, not Catherine Appel, Andrea Henkel, sorry, representing Germany in this first and third leg of the race. As we're heading down to the 0.9 kilometre mark. Who's going to take an early lead at this point? That is going to be... It is going to be, yes, Andrea Henkel with World second, France in third, Slovakia at the back, 1.9 seconds separating the 10 teams. And look at that. That is Delphine Barlett taking an early lead for France, going down in the downhill section. Of course, Sweden with Magdalena Forsberg, the first biathlete to win 2 Biathlon Olympic Championship titles. She'll be making sure Sweden has a very good chance to take the win here, like she did with Team World in the women's relay competition. And look at that, 3.8 seconds separating first and down to 10th, with Germany and Ukraine tied for second. And that looks like here comes Sweden though, with Magdalena Forsberg to try and take the lead going into the first shooting range of this race. With that ski pace of hers, yep, that's her taking the lead for Sweden right there. And here we go, the 10 teams coming into the shooting range. Who's going to first position? I imagine it's going to be Forsberg. Yes, it is. As everyone else gets a position and get ready to get the shooting underway. Shooting underway now. We've got a few misses there for Norway, Ukraine and World. We've had a few misses already, but look at that. Just like in the women's competition, Forsberg gets in and out very quickly. So is Malgi of Russia. Slovakia and Finland managed to go clear without using any spares. Team World off to a rough start there. So is actually Germany for that matter. Norway go clear using 2 spares. Belarus had to use 2 spares. 2 penalty loops for Team World and 1 penalty loop for Germany. Disastrous start for Germany right there. 1 penalty loop already in this race. Forsberg leading the way. It is, I believe, Russia in second. Yep, 3.8 seconds separating this first top 2 teams. Then it's Finland in third. Slovakia with Halarova up into fourth, with Delphine Barlett the top 5 for France. As Forsberg making the way to the next checkpoint in this race. Next split, sorry, the 4 kilometer split for Sweden. And the time is 2:37.6. A really, really good start there, with Team World at the back and Germany towards the back as well. After both of them having a really, really bad start, getting at least 1 penalty loop after the first shoot. So those two have got a lot of ground to make up, but they want to try and get back in this race. And they need to try and get back in as quick as they can. But here comes Magdalena Forsberg to do the second round of the shooting range. Can actually get in and out as quickly like she should in the first round of the shooting range. There's Russia coming in as well. And a few other teams coming into the shooting range as well. Forsberg currently lagging, the shooting underway. Oh, she missed the target though. I jinxed her just for staying calm. She needs to use at least 1 spare. Can Russia capitalize on and go clear? Oh no, she missed the last target. Forsberg goes clear with using only 1 spare. Malgina, well, not what she needed, but she used 1 spare, but she is still in second. Slovakia and France going clear without using a spare. Finland managed to go clear using 1 spare, so that's going to slow them down a little bit. That probably dropped it down to 5th maybe. Norway and the Belarus managed to go clear without using any spares. Ukraine, meanwhile, need to use at least 2. And they're risking going in the penalty loop. Andrea Henkel, another bad round of the shooting range for her. And it's going to be a penalty loop for Ukraine. Volopanova really struggling here. And Andrea Henkel managed to go clear using 2 spares, and it's 2 penalty loops for Ukraine. Team World in the shooting range, they want to try and get clear. Yes, they managed to go clear using 1 spare. So I think they might get ahead of Ukraine just about. Magdalena Forsberg getting ready to get towards the first exchange of the race, to hand it over to Carl-Johan Bergman, the highest placed Swedish biathlete in this competition, getting his first appearance in this bonus episode, because Sweden didn't have enough biathletes for the men's competition, and well, Carl-Johan Bergman was not high enough on the list to be picked to represent Team World, so be good for Carl-Johan Bergman to get a shot here, to do well for himself and for Sweden, as Carl-Johan Bergman gets ready to get underway now. A great advantage Carl-Johan Bergman is given thanks to Forsberg's first lap. So what can Bergman be able to keep this momentum going for Sweden? It's going to be a tough ask, because in second place is Russia. They've got Viktor Megorov to represent them in the second and fourth legs of this race. Jules Robert in third will be representing France in third place. Carl Bergman is going to be really, really nervous here. 5 minutes 21.6 is his time. What's the gap between him and Megorov? It is going to be 9 seconds, so not a big gap between the two of them. This is going to be crucial for Kyle Bergman to keep his nerve. 9 seconds is not a lot of time here. Julie Roberts third for France. Mark Maniasko fourth for Slovakia, with Ville Räikkönen representing Finland in the second leg of the race. 5:50.1 is the time after 9 kilometers. Victor Megrov may be closing in on them. It was 9 seconds in the previous split. 6.96. Wow, huge chunk of time just been cut just like that from Victor Megrov's ski pace. Kyle Bergman going to be really worried here. This could be what Victor Megrov needs to get Russia into the lead of this race. And here we go. Kyle Bergman getting to the shooting range. There is Russia coming in, and that'll be France coming in into the shooting range as well. First shooting for Kyle Bergman. Victor Megrov coming in now. Kyle Bergman trying to keep his composure. There's France in the shooting range now. So is Slovakia. 2 misses there for Bergman. Oh, a miss there for Russia. Oh, Russia's missed twice. France has missed 1. Slovakia's missed 1. The pressure's on as well, actually on. Bergman managed to go clear using 2 spares. And Victor Megrov is actually the penalty loop for Russia. So Russia is completely turning its head. 2 penalty loops for Russia. That's cost them time. That's going to put France into second place with Julie Robert. Maniasko probably going to be down to 4th because Ville Räikkönen is going to be in 3rd for Finland. Well, that's just completely changed things around. Meanwhile, further down the field, we got Norway going clear using all 3 spares. Belarus going clear using 2 spares. Frank Luck struggling there for Germany. Managed to go clear using 2 spares. So Russia have got all to do to try and catch back up to Sweden. Further down the field, we've got Team Wall going clear without using any spares. Derkach struggling for Ukraine in the second leg, but Ukraine have got off to a really bad start. 4 misses. It's already a penalty loop there for Ukraine in the second leg. Oh man, this is really difficult there for Ukraine. He's missed another target. Ukraine have got at least 2 penalties. There's going to be 2, there's going to be 3 for them. Are they going to end up being lapped by Sweden? 2 penalty loops by think. Yeah, I think Kyle Bergman might just be short on being able to lap Ukraine. Julie Roberts 12.4 seconds down second. Maniasko third. Räikkönen 4th for Finland. Where is... Oh, well, Russia have really fallen down the order. Down to 6th place behind Norway. And here comes Sweden into the shooting range, hoping to continue this momentum of being in 1st place. There we go. Got a battle for 3rd going in. This will be between Slovakia and Finland. And there, that'll be Norway and Russia coming in as well. Kyle Bergman missing the last target. Okay, now the pressure is on. Another miss there for Sweden. Julie Roberts missed 1, so is Finland. Oh, Räikkönen is struggling here in the shooting range. But Bergman, with 2 spares required, managed to go clear eventually. Julie Roberts needs only 1. And, wow, Finland having a bad round of the shooting range. So is Norway, for that matter. And Norway are going into the penalty loop. Megrov needs 1 spare, does go clear. Try to make up for the lost ground. But he's still got Slovakia and France separating them from Sweden. 1 penalty loop there for Norway. And we got Jan Price of the Stone. I think Team Wall need to use some spares in the 4th shoot, using 1 spare. That'll help him try and make up a little bit of ground, hopefully. But Norway, that is not good for Norway at all. Russia made their way back into 3rd, so they're ahead of Slovakia, surprisingly. 3.5 seconds separating Russia and Sweden here. As Ukraine go to the shooting range, I think Sweden's going to be lapping Ukraine just as they're coming over to the exchange. And look at the gap between Sweden and France. It's now 4.1 seconds. Julie Robert right behind Sweden. Victor Megrov trying to use his superior ski pace to catch up, but it's going to be a tough ask for him. Germany are up to 4th. They're ahead of Slovakia. We've got Finland in 6th place. Norway well down the field, as Ukraine managed to just avoid being lapped just before this exchange, as control goes back to Magdalena Forsberg for the 3rd leg. France getting underway, and so will be Russia. So what can Forsberg do here with Delphine Barber behind her? 3.9 seconds is the gap between the two of them going into this third leg. There is Derkach of Ukraine. Baby looks like he's not too far away of being lapped by Magdalena Forsberg. 10 minutes 49.4 is Forsberg's time. Here comes France with Delphine Barlett. 4.8 seconds is the gap between them. Aria Malgina, third in the rookie standings, behind her two teammates of Ishmatova and Medvedeva. She's got her work out to try and catch up to Magdalena Forsberg. Try and get Russia back in the running for this in this race. I want to try and get some decent points for the relay competition standings, but also pride on the line for Russia here. They managed to win the mixed relay event. They want to try and win the mixed relay, the single mixed relay as well. And here we go, Forsberg coming into the shoe range as Derkach is making his way to the exchange. Going to be giving control back to Vodopanova, who got Ukraine off to a really poor start here. Okay, Forsberg is in. Here comes Delphine Barlett, and here comes Arina Malgina. Forsberg getting the shooting underway. Can she go clear using any spares? Can she extend Sweden's lead? Oh, she's missed the last target. Delphine Barlett getting the shooting underway. You want to try and catch up to Forsberg, but she's missed the target as well. So Forsberg using one spare does go clear, and she's going to hold on to the lead for Sweden. The battle for second is suddenly brewing between France and Russia, but Barlett goes clear using only one spare. Malgina managed to go clear using one spare. Germany have missed twice there. 2 spares needed. Halanarova for Slovakia, meanwhile, goes clear without using any spares, and is going to get past Germany for, I think, it's going to be 4th place. Looking further in the field, Linda Grubben for Norway. I mean, Norway are really struggling in this race. Linda Grubben needs to use at least one spare. She does, so Germany had to use all 3. Canada had to use 2 for Finland, 1 for Norway, 2 for Belarus with Kristalieva, and now Team World. 2 spares left, 2 targets to get down. Shumi Yu for China. Under quite a bit of pressure. But she does manage to go clear using her last spare. 30 minutes 3.2 at the 90km mark for Magdalena Forsberg. As Vodopanova is going to come into the shooting range for Ukraine, who's on the verge of being lapped by Sweden here. Vodopanova is in. Man, Ukraine, rough start for them. They had an amazing mixed relay rate. The single mixed relay, it's all gone horribly wrong for them. As we're into the 6th round of the shooting range, well, for Vodopanova, the 5th. Vodopanova managed to go clear without using any spares, but she's got a lot of guard to make up to catch up to the rest of the teams in this race. Forsberg getting the shooting underway for herself and for Sweden. Can she go clear? Yes, she can. So she's going to keep that lead for Sweden going into the 4th and final leg of this race. Giving control back to Carl-Johan Bergman, who did a really good job of keeping Sweden ahead. Though he's not the strongest biathlete, but he's still been doing a really good job for them. Meanwhile, Russia and France managed to go clear. They didn't use any spares. Slovakia with Halarova is in, trying to keep ahead of Germany with Andrea Henkel. 4 minutes 8.7, so this is a big gap for Forsberg. This is a great advantage Carl-Johan Bergman has going into the 4th and final leg of this race. However, we managed to go clear using one spare. What about Germany? Well, Germany has struggled there, and well, Canada managed to go clear without using a spare, so she's going to get ahead of both Norway and Germany. In fact, Germany could be in the penalty loop, and Germany do go in the penalty loop. What about Norway? Kristalieva going clear for Belarus, having to use one spare. Norway in all sorts of trouble, and Norway are in the penalty loop as well. Shumi Yu getting the shooting underway for Team World. She's missed 2 targets. Vodopanova may actually be in a battle to not be in last position. But Vodopanova is in the shooting range now, but she's about to be lapped. And a couple of teams are about to be lapped as well. Team World are going to be lapped. Going to be a lap down. And yes, Team World are officially lapped by, well, technically now Carl-Johan Bergman. As Shumi Yu falls behind. Shumi Yu had to use all 3 spares to go clear at the end of the 6th shoot, sorry. Vodopanova had to use 1 spare to go clear. So Vodopanova may just give Ukraine a fighting chance to not finish in last place in this race. But 2 teams have been lapped of the 10 teams that are in this race. Kyle Bergman, going to be a tough ask for him because he's got strong opposition behind with Julian Robert, Viktor Megorov, and Marek Matiasko of Slovakia. They're going to be quite a difficult challenge for Bergman, but I think Bergman can do it. I think he's making the 23.4 kilometer mark. 15 minutes 43.3 is the time. What is the gap between Sweden, Norway, France, sorry, 90.2 and 90.9 seconds ahead of Russia. So Viktor Megorov is in a tussle for second with Julian Robert. But Julian Robert and Viktor Megorov got to work out to try and catch up to Karl Bergman. It is possible, but Bergman has got a bit of an advantage going on. As we're going to see, we're about to see Team World will unlap themselves because they're going to the exchange for Shiryu to give control back to Yana Prance of Estonia, and Viktor Megorov has passed Julian Robert for second. Alright, shoe range number 7. Karl goes in. Here comes Shiryu to unlap herself to get Yana Prance on the lead lap. And Filipanova will do the same, getting the control back to, I believe, Derkach, if I remember rightly. Karl Bergman with the shooting underway. Can he go clear without using his spears? Yes, he can. And that's before Russia and France get into the shooting range. Karl Bergman, what a flawless round there. The shooting range for him. 2 misses there for Russia. Russia again complacent with Viktor Megorov. That's 3 misses there with 3 spears needed. So Viktor Megorov could be in the penalty loop and they could be dropped. They might end up losing their chance of getting second. Julian Robert managed to go clear with 1 spear needed. Viktor Megorov on his final target, final spear round. And Russia are in the penalty loop. What can Marek Matiasko do about it for Slovakia? With Phil Raikkonen behind him in the shooting range for Finland. Matiasko going clear without using any spares. That's good news for Slovakia, not good news for Russia because they're well behind France now, let alone the leading team that is Sweden. Looking further in the field, we've got Phil Raikkonen needs to use at least 1 spare to get 1 tire down. He does so with 1 spare. And Oleg Ryzenkov is ball there. Frank Luck going clear for Germany without using any spares. So Germany having a really bad race. Eagle Schelland and Linda Grumman struggling for Norway as well. Norway, you expect them to do a bit better than what we're seeing from them, but yeah, they're just having really struggled there. Meanwhile, 2 penalty loops going to Belarus with Oleg Ryzenkov missing 2 targets. Schelland had used 2 spares, but he does go clear. It's going to get stay ahead of Team World as Derkach comes in for Ukraine. 8th and final round of the shooting range for Karl Bergman. He needs to keep his cool if he wants to try to ensure that he is going to take the win for himself, for Magnus Forsberg and for Team Sweden. Team World have used 1 spare. Derkach needs to use at least 2. But Karl Bergman going clear without using any spare. It's going to relap Ukraine, and it looks like it's going to ensure that victory will be going to Sweden. Julian Robert is in the shooting range. He's just had to try to hold on to second over Russia's challenge, though Russia have got a massive disadvantage in this final lap of the race. And Julian Robert goes clear without using any spares, but Julian Robert is not really going to be able to catch up to Karl Bergman is just too far ahead. But what an amazing race for Karl Bergman, for Magnus Forsberg, and of course for Team Sweden. Viktor Megorov managed to go clear using his spares, but the damage is done, so they're pretty much just going to have to sell for the final podium spot in 3rd. Meanwhile, Frank Luck could try still have a small chance to try and dethrone Slovakia of 4th place. Though Slovakia needs to use 2 spares here. But Germany managed to go clear without using any. So I think Germany made it in their late charge. It's going to go into 4th. But at the end of the day, the victory of this race is going to go to Karl Bergman, for Magnus Forsberg, and for Team Sweden. What a dominant race they've had from start to finish. And there is Karl Bergman taking the win with a time of 20 minutes 8.1. Further in the field, Matiasko has late charge for Slovakia is going horribly wrong. He's going in the penalty loop and he's going to be passed by Norway. Here comes, that'll be Julian Robert of France to take 2nd place for France. France had a pretty decent race there, just was not able to capitalise catching Sweden for the win. And here it comes for the final podium spot, Viktor Makarov of Russia. Now it's going to wait for everyone else to make way across the finish line. And there we go, that's everyone across the finish line. What a race for Sweden to take the win by 18.2 seconds over France. Viktor Makarov and Malgil will be so annoyed. They've got 3 penalty loops in total, all of them from Viktor Makarov in the second and fourth legs. Fourth going to Germany, they've had 2 penalty loops, both from Andrei Henkel. Viel Räikkönen and Kittel will be happy for Finland with 5th. 6th is Slovakia with 1 penalty loop at the end. Norway takes 7th with 2 penalty loops. 8th place is Team World with 2 penalty loops, both of them from Shumi Yu. 9th place is Belarus. They've got 3 penalty loops. All of them were from Oleg Roysakov in the final leg of the race. 10th place is Ukraine. Both biathletes got 2 penalty loops in the first and second legs of the race respectively. So with that out of the way, we've got one relay competition to go. It is the Super Relay. And here we go, it is the Super Relay, which means 2 random biathletes will be paired together, regardless of their nationalities. So pair number 1, we've got Kobler and Rafael Pori. Pair number 2 is Vostenko and Michael Gries. Alea Zarbalova and Dostal make up pair number 3. Pair number 4 is Pavlina Filipova and Ludwig Gredler. Beckert and Thieler are pair number 5. Volopanova and Jans Osbal are pair number 6. Ekaterina Defoska and Sylvie de France is pair number 7. Pair number 8 is Perunka and Nakums. Henkel and Dolnik are pair number 9. Sanjay Bailey and Jans Marek are pair number 10. Pair number 11, Alea Petrova and Krista Suman. Pair number 12 is Miakova and Sean Shablos. Weissleitner and Rusnov are pair number 13. 14, Oleg Mefiseva and Alexei Adarov. Sesnikova and Alexander Wolf are pair number 15. Pair number 16 is Galina Kukleva and Sergei Rozkov. Pair number 17, Kristalieva and Megaru. Hobkova and Makarov are pair number 18. Livka Shelbred and Ruslan Lysenko are pair number 19. Anna Sprun and Zarlima are pair number 20. And the final pair is Natalie Santa and Upenix. So who's going to win this Super Relay? Without further ado, let's get into this race to find out. It's Kobler, Vostenko and Zarbalova in the front row. As we get underway. Now, and a pretty good start there for pair number 3. That is, of course, Zarbalova and Dostal. However, the Slovenian is going to hold on to the lead. And she's probably got an advantage because she's got the men's champion of Rafa Pori. Unfortunately, Magdalena Forsberg not paired up with anybody, so she is not in the Super Relay. So it would have been interesting to see the women's individual champion among them, but sadly it is not meant to be. But it looks like the Ukrainian is well out front, coming to the 1.2 kilometer mark. Oh, it does. Okay, so, it's not on the track. So Zarbalova leads the way. As Brown is at the back with Natalie Santa, 4.5 seconds separating the top 2. Okay, so at this point, that part of the track is not. Oh, is it here? Oh, it's here. Sorry. Okay. So coming to the 2 kilometer mark, it looks like it's Ekaterina Defoska that's trying to get involved in the action to try and get ahead of Zarbalova. But here we go. Coming to the 2 kilometer mark. Zarbalova, there's Defoska, there's Beckert, Perunka, Filipova into the top 5. With first 21st separated by 5.9 seconds. Natalie Santa is at the back behind Alea Petrova, and there's Anna Sprung. And here we go, into the first shoot. What will happen here? So who's going to be first in position? Zarbalova, Defoska, then Beckert. So everyone is in. Let's see how the shooting gets underway. And Zarbalova's missed the target. We've got a few misses there already. Anyone going to clear her without needing to use any spares? I'm not seeing. Yes, look at Shelbred. The runner-up in the women's competition has gone clear without using spares. Miakova's gone clear without using spares. So is Mefiseva and Natalie Santa, the women's rookie champion. And we've got Becker going into the penalty loop. Henkel has got 1 penalty loop. Becker has got 2 penalty loops. Bailey's got 1 penalty loop. Hobkova's got 1 penalty loop. Weissleitner managed to go clear using her last spare. So a few people in a disadvantage already, but it's Livka Shelbred, the highest placed women's biathlete who came second, is the leader of this race. I think we've had either 5 or 6 teams that's got at least one penalty that they have to serve in this first round of the shooting range. Davolska is in second, Mefiseva, the women's rookies champion, third, Miyakova fourth, Natalie Santer running off your top 5 positions. Lucas Shelbred determined to try and get a good advantage going for herself and for her teammate once they get to the first exchange of this race. I feel it's spread out quite a bit actually, with those in the penalty loop quite a bit behind, with Beckert, who had 2 penalty loops, will be is in the back of the field, but it's all to play for. There's 7 more rounds of the shooting range to go. Anything can happen here, but here comes Lucas Shelbert into the shooting range for the second time before she goes off to do the exchange. This is the Davolska, this Mefiseva. Here comes the field of biathletes into the shooting range. Lucas Shelbert in position, Davolska in position, Mefiseva, then Serbalova. Let's see what happens here. Lucas Shelbert gets the shooting underway. Miss there for Davolska, Mefiseva, and Lucas Shelbert's missed twice. 2 misses there for Davolska, Mefiseva's missed 1. What about Serbalova? She goes clear without using any spares, so she's going to retake the lead of this race. Mefiseva had to use 1, Lucas Shelbert had to use 2. And Davolska had to use 2 spares as well. Cobbler had managed to go clear without using any spares, so she's going to get a few positions. Natalie Santa, Filippo and Peruk had to use 2 spares each. Looking further in the field, we got one biathlete's going to go in the penalty loop. That is Volopanova with 1 penalty loop. Asper's got 1 penalty loop to serve as well. Andrei Henko in danger of going back into the penalty loop again, but she managed to go clear with using her last spare. Leah Patrol has got 1 penalty loop, Sandra Bailey 1 penalty loop as well, so they're going to drop a bit off the pace of the rest of the competitions for the meantime. Meanwhile, Serbalova lead the way with ahead of Mefiseva. Then it's Livka Shelbert in third, Davolska fourth, Cobbler running off the top 5 positions. As we're getting closer and closer to the first exchange of the race. And here comes Serbalova at the 7-kilometer mark. What's her time? 4 minutes 35 exactly. What's the gap between her and Lucas Shelbert and Mefiseva? Mefiseva is 3.7 seconds, Lucas Shelbert 5.3 seconds, so not too much in it. But here comes Serbalova to go over to the exchange to pass over to her partner. So we'll see who that partner is that's paired up with Serbalova. Paired up with the Czech Republican of Dostal. Let's take Serbalova's place. Alexei Adirov is second. Third, Ruslan Lysenko of Ukraine. As further in the field, we've got a few people about to make their first exchange. De France goes in the second leg. Rafael Pori, the men's champion, gotta watch out for him. Jekka Nakum 6th. The London Gredler is in 7th. There's Upenix in 8th. It was going to the 8.7 kilometer mark. The pressure's going to be on Dostal to try and stay ahead for Elena Serbalova after he's been given a good advantage thanks to her. Alexei Adirov has got all to do, and so is Ruslan Lysenko to try and catch up to Dostal. But Rafael Pori is going to have to be the one to watch, because in 5th, I believe, if I remember right, it was Andrew Cobbler that's paired up with Rafael Pori. So Rafael Pori, if he performs as well as he did in the men's competition, he will be flying up the order to try and catch Dostal before the second exchange, where it goes back to the female biathletes again. And it looks like we just got the last team has made the first exchange, so all the men are now in the field. And here comes Dostal into the shooting range for shoot number 3. Let's see if he can keep ahead for Serbalova's sake. And Dostal's in. Here comes Adirov and Lysenko. And the shooting's going to get underway, hopefully. And it does. Dostal's missed the first target. 2 misses there for Dostal already. Dostal's missed 3. Oh, disastrous starter for Dostal. Alexei Adirov, meanwhile, getting those targets out of Alexei Adirov's going to clear using his spear. So Alexei Adirov is going into the lead of the race. De France is in trouble. He's missed 3 targets already before getting to the spears. Rafael Pori's missed 2. Lysenko's gone clear using 1 spear. Dostal used all 3 spears, managed to get all 3 targets down, thankfully. De France is going in the penalty loop. Rafael Pori had to use 2 spears to go clear. De France has got 2 penalty loops to serve. Nako's going clear. Greta's gone clear. Anyone else going to go facing the penalty loop? Megarov is going to the penalty loop. Is at risk of going to the penalty loop, sorry. Megarov, Greece. Wolf going to go clear using his spears. Roskov, 2 spears left, 2 targets to try and get down. And Mega going to go clear using his last spear. And looking further down the field. Anyone in trouble going to the penalty loop? Yeah, Jeremy Tila is in trouble going to the penalty loop towards the back end of the field. Ozbol's got a penalty loop he has to serve. Jeremy Tila has to go clear using his last spear. Rafael Pori 18.2 seconds down. Adolf Dostal dropping down to third after a disastrous first round of the shooting range in this leg of the race. That's going to be pressure added on for Elena Zabralova when it goes back to her at the end of the at the second exchange, as I should say, sorry. But here comes Adolf back into the shooting range. Let's see what he can do here. Can he go clear again? Can he open the gap up even further to increase his lead before giving it the control back to Medvedeva? Adolf getting the shooting underway now. Russell cycle comes in. There's Dostal and Rafael Pori, and Adolf has missed 2 targets. Okay, Adolf's going to be facing a bit of pressure now. What can he do here? He's missed again. Russell cycle meanwhile still going to do the shooting underway. He's missed 1 target. Adolf's got 1 spare left. Rafael Pori missed his last target. Lysenko managed to go clear with 1 spare. Adolf managed to go clear. They had to use all 3 spares to do that. Rafael Pori managed to go clear with 1 spare. But now Dostal in danger of going to the penalty loop again. Missed 3 targets. Can he get this last one down? No, he cannot. He's in the penalty loop. Alexander Wolf going clear without using any spares. That's going to give him some time and positions. Further down the field, we got Rodgrid Gredler is going to go. He's in the penalty loop with 1 penalty loop he has to serve. Megru managed to go clear without using any spares. So that's going to do wonders for himself and for his teammate. Dominik Rusinov missed 3 targets, in danger of going the penalty loop as well. Well, the battle's on for the lead between Russell Lysenko and Alexei Adolf. Rafa Pori right behind him. 2.7 seconds is the gap. So the pressure's on the 2 of them before going over to the exchange. Looking further down the field. Anyone else at risk of going to the penalty loop? Well, Jeremy Tila is going to the penalty loop towards the back of the field. Jan Ozbol at risk of going into the penalty loop as well. And I think he's in last position in this race. Yes, he's in the penalty loop. It's either going to be 1 or 2. Lysenko, 9 minutes 49.6. 1 second advantage over Alexei Adolf. Rafael Pori is right behind them in third as we're coming over to the exchange. So, Lysenko, can he keep... what's going to happen in this third leg of the race? We'll go back to the female biathletes here. And the Lysenko giving the control back to Livka Shelbred. Medvedeva giving back control with Alexei Adolf. Rafa Pori giving Kobler back control. So Kobler is going to have it all to do. She's got really 2 fierce biathletes she's got to deal with Livka Shelbred and Oleg Medvedeva. So it's going to be a challenge, but it can be done. Sestakova giving back control down in 4th place as she starts the third leg for her team, and Livka Shelbred looking like she's about to lap Kobler, no, not Kobler, Marek, who had to go to the penalty loop. So we're starting to lap some of the back markers in this race. Medvedeva 1.2 seconds behind Livka Shelbred. Kobler 3.3 seconds behind. She's not the fastest skier, Kobler, but she can turn things around. Livka Shelbred needs to keep their cool if they don't want to give Kobler a chance to get ahead of them. I believe that's Jeremy Tila that's coming the 30-kilometer mark. He needs to get off to the exchange soon. Look at Shelbred, 11 minutes, 11.1. Medvedeva 2.1 seconds down. Kobler, the gap's now up to 6.1 seconds. Kobler really struggling here for pace in comparison to Luka Shelbred and Medvedeva. And here goes Tila off to the exchange. That'll be Marek going off to the exchange as well. Luka Shelbred's in, Medvedeva's in. Here comes Kobler. Oh wow, Marek slowed down an awful lot there. I think he got cut off by Medvedeva there. Luka Shelbred trying to keep her composure. She goes clear without having to use any spares. Kobler has missed a target. Medvedeva's missed a target. Kobler's missed 2. That's going to make it hard for Rafael Pori to catch back up to the opposition again. Luka Shelbred managed to pull a gap between her and Medvedeva. Medvedeva had to use 1 spare there. Kobler risking going to the penalty loop. In fact, Kobler is going to the penalty loop. We've got Sestakova and Holbakova right behind her. So Kobler's got 1 penalty loop to serve. Zarbalova needs to use is missed one target. Sesakova and Hopkova at risk of going to the penalty loop as well. Defalska going clear without need to use any spears. That's going to help Defalska gain a few positions. Look at Shelburne well out in front. Sesakova's got one penalty loop to serve out in the field. Kristaleva's got at least one penalty loop to serve. Further in the field, still a bunch of teams still at the shooting range. Memphis there, 7.6 seconds gap between her and Livka Shelburne. Livka Shelburne needs to try and pull as much of a gap as she possibly can to give her teammate Russell Lysenko a chance in this race. 12 minutes 56.1 is the time. As Memphis Seva is hot, still hot on her heels right now. I think the gap may be going up actually. 7.8 seconds now. It could be a two-horse race actually because the rest of the field are quite far down the field, and we've got Volopanova and Beckert in the shooting range. They're going to be lapped by Lucas Shelburne and Memphis Seva. Beckert let's get all 5 targets down. She had to use one spare. Volopanova still in the shooting range. Lucas Shelburne has missed a target, opens the door for Memphis Seva to try and capitalise on it. But Volopanova managed to go clear, so she's not going to be lapped yet. And Lucas Shelburne struggling here. She's missed another target. Memphis Seva went clear without using any spares. So Memphis Seva is now the race leader. That's going to help Alexei Aerov get a good advantage over Lysenko going to the final leg of the race. 30 minutes 48.7 is the time. Defalska, Zarbalova, and Koblar. Persia is 3-way tussle for third because they're well behind Lucas Shelburne and Memphis Seva. It's probably going to be a two-horse race to the end of the race, I think, between these two teams. Well, this is quite a dramatic turn of events here. Zarbalova is missed 3 targets. She's at risk of going the penalty. Koblar managed to go clear without having to use any spares, but Koblar in the first leg has kind of struggled. So it's cost her a lot of time, and as well as shoot number 7, that cost her time. Sesnakova's missed 4 targets. She's in the penalty loop. Zarbalova's in the penalty loop. And Sesnakova's got more than one penalty to serve actually, so Sesnakova in all sorts of problems here. There's Memphis Seva closing in, and that'll be Tichana Volopanova, who needs to go back to the shooting range, so she will be a lap down as Memphis Seva will begin the final leg of the race. So quite dramatic turn of events. 40 minutes 46.7. Lucas Shelburne has got all to do. So is Russell Lysenko to try and catch Aderov. As Memphis Seva starts the 4th and final leg of the race, as she laps a couple of the back markers, Beckert and Volopanova, now officially a lap down. And here is Alexei Aderov ready to get things underway, and he does get things underway. There's someone else is a lap down. I'm not sure who it is. A couple of people are behind. Russell Lysenko, he's starting the final leg of the race. Volopanova and Beckert have Beckett's gone clear. She had to use all 3 spares. Volopanova's missed one spare left and one target to get down. All the rest going in the penalty loop. Volopanova has really struggled here, and Volopanova does manage to go clear using the last spare. But Alexei Aerov got quite an advantage over Russell Lysenko. The question is, can he convert it into a race victory? At the 23.7 kilometer mark, 15 minutes 40.9, 7.8 second advantage over the Ukrainian. This is going to be an intense battle to the finish line between Aderov and Lysenko. As they're coming up to the next checkpoint, the 24.5 kilometer mark, some of the back markers are going to be holding up Aderov a bit. That could work to Russell Lysenko's favour, but Russell Lysenko's got to deal with the back markers as well. They're the ones that need to go into the final exchange of the race. 8.6 second advantage is now towards Aderov's favour. As Aderov gets into the shooting range for shoot number 7 and slowing down one of the back markers there. And there is Lysenko coming in now. As Aderov missed the first target. Oh, 2 misses for Aderov. Not a good start for him. I think the pressure's gained to the Belarusian. That opens the door for Lysenko to try and get himself back in this race. Let's go some more back markers unlapping themselves. Russell Lysenko going clear without using any spears. Aderov in trouble going to the penalty loop. This opens the door for Lysenko, but Aderov managed to go clear with the final spare as Rafael Poirier and De France are in the shooting range now. as they're representing their teammates for the final leg of the race. Rafał Pori, despite his amazing ski pace, it's going to be a really tough ask for him to catch Adarov and Lysenko. 5.3 seconds gap between the two of them. Rafał Pori went clear without using his spares, so that's going to help. That'll help him out, catch back up to the two of them. But it's going to be a really, really big ask. But it's not impossible. Rafał Pori is 24.6 seconds down. He really needs Lysenko and Adarov to have a nightmarish final round of the shooting range. But even then, that might not happen. That might not be enough for Rafał Pori. He might have to sell for a podium spot in third. Ruslan Lysenko ahead of Adarov, 4.8 seconds. The gap is coming down. Further down the field, Roskov's got a penalty loop he has to serve, which is not great. And here we go, coming to the 27-kilometer mark. So waiting for Ruslan Lysenko. There he is. Adarov in the background there, trying to catch back up to the Ukrainian. But it's going to be quite difficult. He really needs the shooting range to go his way. 4.5 seconds is the gap going into this far out of the shooting range. And in comes Ruslan Lysenko. There's some of the back markers who are either about or on the verge of being lapped or already going to be lapped. Shablos is among them. He's got at least one penalty to serve. He's missed 4 targets. Lysenko's in. Adarov is in. All eyes on the two of them. This could determine who's going to win this race. Ruslan Lysenko's missed the first target. Under quite a bit of pressure there. Adarov's missed a target as well. Ruslan Lysenko needs to use at least one spare. Oh, Adarov needs to use at least 2. Ruslan Lysenko managing to go clear. Adarov has got to get him down quickly. Oh man, he's missed one of the targets with his spare. Rafał Pori is suddenly back in it. Oh, Adarov's got a penalty loop. It's over. It's going to be Ruslan Lysenko that's going to take the victory. Adarov got 2 penalty loops. Rafał Pori is now it's got a chance for second, but the France could bounce ahead of him. He does. Rafał Pori. Oh man, cracked under pressure in the shooting range. Adarov is pretty much out of it, so France and Pori approach back for second now. But there's no way they're going to be able to catch Lysenko in time. 22.2 and 22.9 seconds respectively. That sure got to be too big a gap for them to close in on the Ukraine. So Ruslan Lysenko and Livka Shelbrit looks like they're going to be the 2002 Super Relay champions. What a race the two of them have had here. Medvedev and Adarov pressure all over them for all the race, but right at the end, it just all collapsed onto Adarov, and it's going to be Ruslan Lysenko that's going to come out on top, and it's going to be Ruslan Lysenko that's going to be a relay champion, and so is Livka Shelbrit. Further down the field, we've got people going to the penalty loop. Ludwig Gredler's got 2 penalty loops to serve. Upenic's got 2 penalty loops to serve, so some of the teams towards the back of the field, even though they approach this fight for pride now, well, a lot of them are really struggling in this final round of the shooting range. Dolnik has got at least 2 to serve. But Ruslan Lysenko is going to take the victory here. Rafał Pori's put the gap down to 17.8. Nowhere near enough. The France is going to have to sell for a podium spot in third. As Ruslan Lysenko coming across the final corner and is making way to the downhill section. And Livka Shelbrit and Ruslan Lysenko win the 2002 Super Relay competition. 20 minutes 42.3. Now it's going to wait for everybody else to get across the finish line. And here we go, that's everyone across the finish line. Ruslan Lysenko, Lucas Shelbert are your 2002 Super Race champion. Rafał Pori put the gap down to 14.5 seconds, but it wasn't enough. One penalty there from Kobler was enough for Lysenko to beat out Rafał Pori. The France at Foska finished in third. 2 penalty loops in the second leg. The France had an absolute nightmarish first round of this race. Adarov and Medvedev also had 2 penalty loops, both of them at Adarov's expense at the final round of the shooting range. Greece and Fostenko may have not got any penalty loops, but they're down in 5th. There's Migarov and Holmkova taking 6th with 1 penalty loop. Roscoe and Kukleva had a disastrous race. 3 penalty loops. One from Kukleva, 2 from Roscoe. Dostal and Serbalova had 1 penalty loop each. They had to serve the race. They finished in 8th. 9th is Sprung and Sarlima, with Sprung having 1 penalty loop in their first leg of the race. Nakuz and Peruka ran off the top 10, and the last team to be within 1 minute of Lysenko in 10th. Marek and Bailey take 11th, with 2 penalty loops, both of them going to Sandrine Bailey. Megaru and Krusaliva finished in 12th. There's Krista Simin and Elena Petrova. 14th is Ludwig Gredler and Filipova. Rusanov and Weissleitner take 15th. In 60 seconds, Alexander Wolf and Sestakova 3 penalty loops all in the third leg of the race. Upenics and Natalie Santa had 2 penalty loops in this race. They are down 17th. Both of them were Upenics in the final leg. Jerry Tila and Becker take 18th. 19th is Oswald and Volopanova. They had 3 penalty loops in total. 2 from Oswald, 1 from Volopanova. Dolnik and Henkel had 4 penalty loops in the entire race. 3 of them were in the final leg with Dolnik. Henkel had 1 penalty loop, I think it was in the first round of the shooting range. At the back of the field, Shablos and Miakova, both biathletes had 1 penalty loop each there to serve the race. So with that result out of the way, for the final time, let's take a look at the stats and we'll see who are your relay champions. And that is the end of the relay competition. And if you look at the relay standings, it's Germany that come out on top by just 2 points ahead of France and 3 ahead of Russia. That's put them in 2nd and 3rd respectively. Norway finished an impressive 4th, with Ukraine ranked the top 5 by just 1/4 of a point over Sweden. Finland takes 7th with 26 points, with Bulgaria and Italy sharing 8th with 14.5 points each, and Belarus completing the top 10 with 12 points. And here is the full relay standings. So as you can see, we have 18 teams that compete in at least one of the relay competitions. Germany managed to attend all 4 and they got 3 4th place finishes and a win in the men's relay competition. France got 2 second places, a 3rd and a 6th place to put them in 2nd, with Russia getting 1 win, 1 3rd place, 1 5th place and 1 6th place to put them in 3rd, with Norway in 4th ahead of Ukraine. Ukraine had to do the Team World in the men's relay that gave them 4.5 points, which is what Italy got because they had 1 biathlete each, and then they had Belarus that had 2 biathletes, so it gave them 9 points, even though that puts them in 10th position. They did have anyone in the women's relay, and they only got 3 points in total in the 2 mixed relays competition. And towards the bottom, we've got Poland that only attended the mixed relay competition, and unfortunately they didn't finish in the top 10, so they ended up with 0 points. I hope you enjoyed the 2002 Biathlon Olympic season. What will the 2006 Biathlon Olympic season bring us? Hopefully as much drama, chaos and excitement that we had in the 2002 season, and I look forward to seeing you for the 2006 Biathlon Olympic season.